peace and is open to negotiations to end the ongoing conflict, according to Andriy Yermak, Chief of Staff to President Volodymyr Zelensky. Speaking during discussions with US counterparts in Saudi Arabia, Yermak stated, "We are ready to do everything to achieve peace." President Zelensky emphasised the importance of cooperation with Saudi Arabia, highlighting opportunities in security, energy and infrastructure. He noted that Saudi Arabia's ambitious economic strategy aligns well with Ukraine's reconstruction efforts. The Ukrainian delegation at the talks includes Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha, Defence Minister Rustem Umerov, Presidential Office Chief Andriy Yermak and Deputy Chief Pavlo Polisa. On the US side, the discussions are led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. While the US remains committed to ending the conflict, officials have stressed that compromises from both Ukraine and Russia are necessary as a military resolution appears unattainable in the near term. Joining us to discuss this ongoing topic is Glenn Grant, the ex-advisor of Ukrainian Defence Minister, who's joining us from Riga in Latvia. Glenn, the first thing I want to ask you, before these meetings took place, we saw the largest Ukrainian strike on Moscow and the Moscow region since the war started. What message was Volodymyr Zelensky sending to Russia by doing this strike just hours before the talks were set to start?
I think there were several messages. I mean, the first one is very clearly that we can do it. And that's what Zelensky will be sort of putting out. That Ukraine has the capacity to actually attack Moscow. I mean, you know that so far they've been avoiding attacking civilian infrastructure. But if Russia is not going to come to the negotiating table with any compromises, then this could actually get a lot worse in that regard. And the second one is just making the point that Ukraine is offering to a ceasefire in the air, so to speak. So no drones over your side, no drones and missiles over our side, and that's quite a significant offer, I think.
Yes, Glenn, we've spoken on this programme in previous days about the position that Ukraine are currently in. Obviously, Russia are advancing. We know the territory that Ukraine controlled within Russia is shrinking. How important is it that Ukrainian officials get something from this meeting, whether that is support from the US or at least help in negotiating peace?
Well, I mean, obviously the negotiating peace bit is worrying most, because we've not seen any evidence at all. Nobody's seen any evidence that the Americans are actually negotiating at all with Russia. It seems to be very clearly and openly that the American side has actually been following the Russian playbook and trying to actually get Ukraine to give up everything whilst Russia gives up nothing. And that of course is the big problem for Yermak when he goes in there, that he's actually got to negotiate from a very difficult position because America does not seem to be on Ukraine's side at all in this.
Do you think that could shift if a minerals deal is signed? It's something that we know was meant to happen when Zelensky visited the US and sat in the Oval Office of the White House, and we saw that clash unfold. Do you think that will have any impact on US support for Ukraine?
Well, I think US support, we're talking about Trump and Vance. They're the only two that are really heavily against Ukraine in thought, word and deed. And you know, a minerals deal is stealing. I mean, they shouldn't be doing anything. US should not be doing anything on this to get something for themselves out of this. When Ukraine is in a bad position, it's pretty morally bankrupt to go trying to get a deal with the weakest party. So will they go? No, I think that Trump will just keep pushing further and try to get more and more and more out of a weak country, because that's his way of thinking.
Glenn, and to bring this discussion to a close, is there any optimism for Ukraine in this situation, and who might that optimism come from if the US don't provide the support that Ukraine need in their fight against Russia?
Oh, I think you haven't quite grasped the fact that in Ukraine there is huge optimism that they're going to win. I mean, and it's not stupidity either. I mean, they're producing new weapons and they're thinking hard how to keep moving forward. The general feeling is that if America ditches them, then they will have to keep going it alone. But I do not see that. We wait until the results of today come out, but I do not see that the Ukrainian side really actually wants to give in. It just wants the best deal that it can get. So I think we have to wait now and see what comes out from the deal, from the meeting today, before we think about anything else. But optimism is there. People still believe they can win this.
Thank you very much, Glenn Grant, for your insight. We will, of course, bring